And so really it's just an opportunity to bring lots of people together and give information, share resources, connect with one another, and just have a good time.
So joining us today are psychology instructors Jennifer Shimek and Shana Sutcliffe, as well as student Brianna Mata, who is going to talk about the upcoming Walk for Wellness and the Active Minds organization. So Jennifer, first of all, tell us about this walk and kind of how this walk fits into Active Minds' mission.
I want to invite ACC students and staff and faculty to join us at the 3rd annual Walk for Wellness. We're going for grit this year. Just take a stroll around the courtyard, learn about grit. This year we're doing a spin-off of Pathway to Positivity, and so we are hoping that everybody can join us on April 18th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's a come and go event or come and stay. There'll be snacks and giveaways for you.
Where does the walk start?
The walk starts in front of the Student Center in the courtyard, and there'll be a starting location and a finish so that everybody's able to walk through the path and see all of the quotes and encouragement and information, and then they're able to have a snack at the end. There'll be water, giveaways. Student clubs in our organizations will also be present to have activities and games as well.
And so kind of what is the purpose of the event? Just give me some details about how the event works and what its purpose.
Okay, the event started 3 walks ago when our Active Minds student members wanted to promote mental health awareness. And so we did the first walk, raising awareness about mental health, or Let's Talk Mental Health was the theme. And so really it's just an opportunity to bring lots of people together and give information, share resources, connect with one another, and just have a good time.
So Brianna, you're going to be there for the walk, but you're with Active Minds as a student. So tell me kind of how you feel this event works with Active Minds and kind of how it fulfills Active Minds' mission, but also just the organization itself and kind of what you do with it.
Well, the Active Minds is a national organization that focuses on increasing mental health awareness. And the organization is to educate students on how we can have conversation about mental health and decrease stigma, and how we can help students find resources that can help with mental health. And I believe the Walk for Wellness is to help, like I said, help students find resources, have a little event that we can all just be there, seeing new faces, being able to talk to others, just being around good people, being around students.
Kind of like a fellowship event almost.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And this is my first year with Active Minds, so I am pretty excited to
So why did you decide to join the organization? What was it about it that appealed to you?
Well, I did get an email that regards the 2 clubs for psychology. I am a psychology major, and I just wanted to be a part of something new. I've never joined a club before throughout middle school or high school, so this is my first club that I've joined, and I'm pretty excited. I just wanted to be around, and I didn't want to be so isolated to myself. I just wanted to be open and meet new people, and I wanted to be a part of something.
So this event, and Shana, maybe you can talk more about this. How does this fit the sort of grit initiative that Active Minds has taken on recently?
The concept of grit, right? The act of persevering despite challenges and kind of keeping going. School is hard, right? So as a student, for sure, there's a lot of challenges. It's difficult to kind of connect, and especially with ACC being kind of a small school, it's a commuter school. Folks aren't living on campus and bumping into each other all the time, right? So we have to kind of create a community and a series of events that brings students together on purpose. And it's one of the benefits, for me anyway, it's one of the benefits of being on faculty, a new faculty even, because I get to kind of step into these events, get to, as an adjunct, which I was for a long time, we go to class and we go home and we're like a commuter kid, like a commuter student. But now...
We used to call them suitcase colleges back in the day.
Right. So now it's been really great to connect with students on a different level, not just in class. And we, in classes, I think all of the faculty probably push the idea of grit without even really thinking of it that way. You know, you have to keep going, you have to persevere, you have to, I know this is really hard, but it's temporary and you're going to be fine, and all of that. But I think kind of labeling it, bringing it out into the open, having words for it, and having an event like this walk that's not I mean, yes, it's about grit, that's the theme, but we have the PE folks who are going to join us and give demonstrations of, you know, exercises and how to take care of your body. That's wellness. We've got the LCDC folks coming out to talk about being in recovery and how recovery obviously requires grit. You have to, it's really, really hard. You have to keep going or it doesn't work, right? The psychology folks are going to be there. Active Minds is going to be there. The art club is going to be represented. The sports folks are going to be represented as well and do some kind of demonstrations and talk about how, you know, as a student athlete, you've been showing grit for your whole, like the whole time, right? It's hard to be a student and an athlete too, and do either one of them really well.
There was an expert that once had claimed that, you know, when you look at like indicators for student success, that it is almost always their ability to continue doing something even when it gets tough, that the people who tend to be successful are the ones who push through. I mean, is that what this is kind of born out of, like this idea of the grit? And
it is. There's data for college students that's a better predictor over things like standardized testing and even GPA. So students who are gritty, the retention, getting them through that first year, which is the hardest year when they're trying to get acclimated to all the new things and time management and all of that, they stick around for longer. So as instructors, we're encouraging it, you know, we're teaching it, the passion and the perseverance and sticking to things, doing what you love, setting goals. That's a big part of it, is creating goals and remembering those long-term goals when you start to feel fatigued or want to give up. You know, there is a purpose. You know, purpose is a big thing too behind grit.
And so how does this fit into, you know, y'all's long-running initiative of a pathway to positivity?
The pathway to positivity is, I think humans in general, like we've said before, it's easier to look at the downside of life or the negative things. You know, life is certainly hard. You know, you can turn on social media or the news and there's all sorts of, you know, bad stuff out there filtering in. And so there is a great intentionality behind pushing forward and seeing the brighter side of things, you know. And I think just teaching others, helping educate others, be it faculty and staff or students, there are tools and there are strategies and there is purpose and intention behind positive thinking and not giving up. It's not something that's just easy, that just kind of just lands in your lap and, you know, life's a go. I mean, sometimes it's really, really hard to push through, and I think it takes other people as well to encourage and to find those that are doing things that are good, and you want to emulate those things. So Angela Duckworth in her book Grit has taught us a lot about that, just creating a culture of grit and the language that you use, you know, the posture that you have, the attitudes. She's done a lot of research on athletes and teachers and all the gritty people, and it is just, it's perseverance and it's passion. Sometimes it's recognizing your own energy level, you know, and staying focused, allowing yourself breaks. And I mean, there's a lot of things in it, and so we do hope people get that out of the walk and just all of the quotes and the messages we're putting out there. It'll be a learning opportunity for folks.
So Brianna, you're a college student. Are you starting to see maybe the benefits of this initiative about grit?
Yes. I had a few classes where you weren't so good for me, but I guess grit is necessary as a student because like you said, sometimes we want to give up, but we just can't, you know? It's not good to just give up. It's good to keep going even whenever life has its little mountains, you know? We need to climb over those mountains and get on the other side because there's always something on the other side. And I feel like college isn't easy, and it's, as a first-year student, I mean, I see that now. But I feel like it's nothing that I can't do. I feel like that's why I need to push myself. I feel like that's why students need to push themselves. Anybody can push themselves. And I feel like We just have to have people around us. We just have to see messages around us. That way we can get on the other side, and that way we don't give up.
I will say, if you Google images of grit, you don't get, the sunrise and the calm ocean. That's not the images you get. It's a human carrying a boulder, walking uphill. It's sand. It's literally, it is grit. And it's a hard thing, because when things are hard, you have to remember, I've learned some stuff, and grit isn't the fun conversation. It's not, the positivity, and it's not but it is part of it. It's reminding you that it takes some strength and effort, effort over talent and all of that, right? Mm-hmm. Effort is a big part of grit. And I close with, I just want to thank everybody who has been part of putting these walks together, because it is a big event, and it is a collaboration on campus between Active Minds and our students, and Pathway to Positivity, counseling services, career services, and student life. And so without the creativity and everyone just pitching in, it wouldn't be what it is. And so we hope to continue. We'll look forward to the 4th annual Walk for Wellness next year with a new theme, and we'll just keep building and educating and raising awareness.
Y'all, thanks for coming to talk to me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks for having us.
Thank you for listening. To read about these stories and more, visit alvincollege.edu/news.